Okay, I realized that our 5-minute lesson series is really like an 11.5-minute lesson series, but what the heck. Okay, what we're going to talk about today is chords, just simple chords. The concept of playing a simple shaped chord like a D, like a C, like an E, and moving those chords around the neck, all right, just to start getting different sounds and different textures and alternate chord voicings, as I'm always whining and complaining to everybody about, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a D chord, all right, and we're going to say, well, if we're playing a D chord, we're in the key of D, and what we're going to do is we're going to look for the 1, and we're going to look for the 4, we're going to look for the 5 without changing the chord shape. When I play this D chord, I have a root here on my D string on my 4th string. I have a 5th, that's an A. That's on my 3rd string. Ah, here's another root. That's the key right there. My ring finger, 2nd string, 3rd fret is playing a root. That's a D. And then I have the 3rd, which is an F sharp over here. But I'm really concerned with where the root is in this simple chord. And it's right here. So that's a D. And I want to just come up with a 1-4-5 in D. A 1-4-5 chord progression. Don't even worry if you don't understand what that means. Just follow my fingers as they go up the neck. Basically, I'm looking for a D chord, a G chord, and an A chord. D, E, F, G is 4. D, E, F, G, A is 5. So, how do I move this D chord so that I can utilize it as a G instead of a D? Well, whatever is under my ring finger, that's what the chord is. The only reason that this is a D chord is because that's a D note right there. If I move this up a half step, I have a D sharp, because that's a D sharp. Now I have an E, right? Now I have an F. Now I have an F sharp. Now I have a G. And I memorize where it is. Right? I look at the dot. That's the 7th fret. Okay? So now I know D, G. And you can hear it has the same tonalities. Not exactly the same structure, but it has the same formula of notes playing. There's my G. Now remember, the bass note is going to get a little squirrely, right? Because the bass note was really the bass note for a D chord. Throw it in there anyway. So I know that's a G because this is a G note. D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G. That's the 4 chord. If I want the 5 chord, I know that's a G note on the 8th fret of my 2nd string, right? So that's G, G sharp, A. And you can hear with the A bass note how nice that is. So instead of going D, G, A, I can go D, G, A. How many times have you heard that? Oh, many times in the 70s, I guarantee it. So what we do is, we take our metronome. Let's see, how many bars? Oh, yeah, I think it's a good enough speed. We're just going to do 1 bar each chord. So we'll do a bar of D, a bar of G, a bar of A, back to a bar of D. It's going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. Again. D, 3, 4. G, 7th fret, A, 9th fret, that anything you play here, 12 frets up from there, you can play the octave, and it's the same chord because that's where the information on the guitar neck repeats. So if that's a D, D sharp E, F, F sharp G, G sharp A sharp B, C, C sharp D. Right on the 14th fret, it's still a D. So now I can go D, G, in any order. I can even start here. That's from taking this one chord. And remember, all I did was access the 4 chord and the 5 chord using the same shape. I didn't even discuss using chords that, you know, are not even in that key, like just rolling this along the neck to see what you get, what you like, because you need to do that too. Hey, that's cool. Oh, that's interesting. Or, right? I would start with the 1, 4, 5, so you get used to displacing this chord that you think of as a D. Because here's the reality of the situation is, reality is never what it seems. This is not a D chord. This is a shape that belongs to a root. And whatever that root note is, that's the name of that shape. It's only a D. Because when you play it with your ring finger on the 3rd fret and your other 2 fingers over here, under that ring finger is the root. That's a D note. That's the only reason why this is a D chord. Because if I take that shape and I play it here, I have a beautiful E chord, which I use a lot. Something to think about. We'll displace some other chords as time goes on, and we'll start getting into licks shortly. All right? Once again, enjoy your playing, and I hope you're playing a lot, even if it isn't this. Take care.